Welcome back, students. As we discussed about the heterotrophic mode of nutrition in the last video. Now here something more interesting. Do you think about it that if all the nutrients are used up by the soil, how it is regained it? Yes, here we have the answer for that. That how nutrients are replenished from the soil, that we can regain it again. How we can replenish it? There are the two ways. One is from the soil by putting the by adding the fertilizers and manures, that may be nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. That can be used in the form of fertilizers, that may be used as urea, as you all have seen. If from any of you, if you have the field, you may have visited over there, you might be using the fertilizers to replenish the nutrients. And another one is by growing the leguminous crops. As is a good place over here, if you see here that in the one season the groundnuts are being grown, and I told you before that in groundnut there are the these are the leguminous plants, and they consist of what? Nodule. That in that nodule rhizobium bacteria is there. That is what going to do. That is going to do that converting nitrogen gas into the nitrate form that is used by that bacteria. And that's why if you are going to plant any another crop in that field, no need to add manure, because now if you've grown the leguminous plant to the field, now the nitrogen requirement is fulfilled. And can you give me the example of that leguminous plant? Here I have written some example, that is chana, moong or the beans. And if you grow these leguminous plant once in alternate way, alternate cropping, then nitrogen requirement is fulfilled in the field, and this will also going to save the money, because there is no need to add any artificial fertilizer to the field, because it's going to harm the quality of the soil too. So this is the good option that they can adapt this cropping, alternate cropping with the leguminous plant. Now here it's the end of this chapter. Let's summarize some keywords. Here you can see that autotrophic. What do you mean by autotrophic, Mahi? Yes, auto means self and trophic means nourishment. It is synthesizing its food by its own, self-nourishing. Then it is not dependent on others. Second is chlorophyll. Chlorophyll, it's a green pigment that is present in the plant, in the leaves, that are helping in the process of photosynthesis. And heterotrophic, hetero means other, trophic is that same, nourishment, deriving the nourishment from others. Can you give me the example of heterotrophic? As we discussed, yes, that was, yes, saprophytes, symbiotic, and that may be the parasitic mode. Second is here host. This we studied in the heterotrophic mode. Who is the host here? Can you tell me? If you remember in the cuscuta plant that was in tubular form and hanging on a tree. So which one is the host there? Yes, exactly. The tree is a host on which that cuscuta is dependent upon. Okay. And insectivorous plant? Insectivorous plants are those that are dependent on insects. They eat the insects for the requirement of some types of nutrients, that may be the nitrogen. Nutrient. What do you mean by nutrient? As this you have discussed in the 6th class, you have read it very well. In the food, yes, nutrients, these are the components. What are the components? That 6 components are there. Yes, can you recall again? Carbohydrate, fats, proteins, vitamins and the minerals. And what is nutrition? Nutrition is the requirement of the plant or an organism, that is we are taking the food, the components for our repair, for our energy. Yes, exactly. That is the nutrition. The food that we are taking in and we are utilizing that for our benefit, that is the nutrition. What is the parasite? Parasite, that is dependent on the host body. The cuscuta, if you remember, the tubular-like structure that was hanged around the tree leaves or tree branches, that is a parasite. Even in you can see that in your hair, you are the host body, and on here the lice is present. The lice is your parasite. Second, here photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is what? Yes, it coined with two terms, photo and synthesis. Photo means light and synthesis means that it is capable to synthesize, to make its own food in the presence of light. Saprotrophs, that is the organism that are dependent on dead decaying matter, and its nutrition is known as saprotrophic. So, the nutrients that are derived from the dead decaying matter, that is saprotrophic nutrition. Lastly, the stomata. What are the stomata? These are the tiny pores that are present on the leaves, and through these, what is happening? I think you all know very well. Stomata, these are the tiny pores. These are guarded by the guard cells, and this open and close when the requirement of the gases helps in exchange of gases and maintain the transpiration process, balance, and maintain the temperature in the plant too. So, this is going to help over there. So, this was all about our chapter, and this you can read it over here, and please mark the important points in your fair notebook, and you have to write the important definitions. Okay? I think it is clear to you right now. In the next video, we will take some of your queries and let's do some question answers then.